Today I want to talk about which stocks typically do well in the month of July. But before that, I wanted to show you this table highlighting the S&P 500's performance. So after a strong start to the year where it's up at least 10%, the index has gone on to average a return of 10.8% in the second half historically. So year to date, it's up around 14.5%. But last year at this time, it was up 15.9%. And in the second half, went on to increase by 7.2%. So there's reason to stay bullish on the index and stocks in general, just because a strong first half doesn't mean that there's going to be a big sell-off or that stocks are due to decline. Instead, it's like the momentum continues. And so stocks could continue to do well in the second half of this year. Now, as far as July goes, the top stocks to watch for this month are MasterCard, Apple, Microsoft, Google, Adobe. These are all stocks that have historically done well in the month of July. And July is a big month for earnings, especially in tech. So that's part of the reason why these stocks generally generate pretty good returns. Google, for example, or Alphabet, has averaged a return of 8.5% over the past 10 Julys. Apple, 6.5%. Microsoft 4.9%. So they've done fairly well. AMD's one to watch out for as well. It's averaged a return of 12.3%, which is the highest on this list that I've got about 25 stocks here. Nvidia 8.3%. In recent years, it's done particularly well. So 10.5% last year. In 2022, around 20%. Amazon, another good one. It's averaged 7.2%. Last year was only 2.6%, but the year before that, 27%. So there's potentially some big moves that can happen this month. The biggest one is AMD, I think, has the potential here. More than 23% in 2022, as much as 47% in 2020. In 2018, it was up over 20%. So it's had a lot of really big moves. So that's one that you may want to watch for, just because NVIDIA's gotten a lot of the attention when it comes to AI, but AMD's, right there as well in a really big company that's going to benefit from AI development and AI chips. And so it hasn't gone up obviously nearly as much as NVIDIA has, and as investors start to get worried about NVIDIA's valuation, they might shift some of that money into AMD. So it's a stock to watch out for, especially considering how well it's done historically in the month of July. So it could be due for, a good earnings performance or an upgrade, depending on when exactly it reports its earnings. It's either late July or early August, I believe. So that's one that could potentially be a really big, or potentially make a really big move this month. But generally, if you want to look for stocks to do well this month, I would say focus on tech stocks, just because earnings are coming out and there could be some significant moves, especially related to AI.